Morning, children. Today we are going to learn Chapter 3 of Chemistry, Class 7, Fiber to Fabric. First, let's learn what we will learn in this chapter. All of you know that fibers are obtained from animals and plants. In this chapter, we are going to learn about it obtained from plants. Wool. It is obtained from the fleece of sheep. Sheep and silk fibers comes from the cocoons of silk moth. Now, as you can see in the picture, as you can see in the picture, this is a fleece of sheep, and this is cocoons which is converted into fibers. We are going to learn which part of the body yields the fibers, how fibers are converted into woolen yarns. Into woolen yarns. You all know that wool comes from many animals, sheep, goats, yaks, and etc. These animals bear hair. There are two types of hair bear by these animals. The coarse beard hair and the fine soft underhair which is near the skin. Do you know why these animals bear hair? These animals bear hair because during winters it is very cold. Due to the climatic conditions, they need to feel warm, or the wool would be or they would be damaged or get diseases. So their wool keeps them warm even during winters. And you should know that fine soft underhair, which is near the skin, is more valuable than the coarse beard hair. Some parents are specially chosen to give birth to these animals which have only soft underhair. This process of, of selecting parents to obtain special characteristics is called selective breeding. Remember this point, children. I'm gonna repeat. The process of selecting parents to obtain special characteristics is called selective breeding. Now, animals that yield wool. As I said, several animals yield wool. Many breeds of sheep in India yield wool. However, the sheep are not the only source of wool. Yak wool is common in Tibet, Ladakh. Mohair, you should remember this, children. Mohair is obtained from Angora goats. Angora goat is a type of goat. It is a breed of goat. Its wool is very soft, and in Kashmir, this goat's hair is woven into fine shawls. This is called pashmina shawls. These are very soft and can protect and can give you heat and protect you from cold climatic conditions. Children, you should also know camel hair is also used as wool. Also, llama and alpaca. Remember the spelling of llamas, children? It is not L-A-M-A, it is double L-A-M-A. It is found in which is found in South America, also yields wool. Let's move to the next point. Rearing and breeding of sheep. For obtaining wool, sheep are reared and their hair is cut and processed into wool. All of you know this. So these animals, do you know why we rear these animals? What is the use? Yeah, humans are very selfish. Only if they have a use, we rear them. Just kidding, jokes apart. But humans rear their animals only if they have some use. They give money, something like that. So the animals so some animals are reared for specially obtained for so some animals are reared for their special properties such as wool, milk, wood in sheeps. So such animals are known as economical animals. And the process of taking care of these animals for these resources is rearing. You should remember this, children, and even this that the people who rear these animals are called rearers. And you should also know sheep. All of you know that sheep are herbivores. What they eat. I'm gonna teach you. Now I'm gonna see what they eat. As you know, herbivores always prefer grass and leaves. So you cannot bring the grass from the fields and put it near them so that they can eat. No, So the process of taking them out into fields and taking care of them, keeping an eye on them and feeding them grass and leaves is called as the grazing. This is also a very important definition, children. Please remember this. Apart from grass, sheep are fed many mixtures. Many mixtures. During winters, even you can't go out to keep an eye on the sheep. So and you can't leave the sheep alone out, and you can't say they may wander away. So apart from grass, sheep are also fed corn and oil cakes. Oil cakes. What is oil cakes? Oil cake is the material left after extracting oil from seeds. From seeds. Any material left after extracting oil from seeds, you should know this. Oil cakes. You should know about oil cakes. Example, let's take an example of groundnut oil. Groundnut oil, you extract all the oil from the groundnuts first, and and the left the left things is the oil cake. This is very important. Please remember this, children. Now, the name of breeds. There, as I said, there are many Indian breeds, and here is some of them. Lohi. Lohi gives you good quality of wool. Wool. It gives a very good quality of wool, and these and I forgot to tell you that some breeds of sheep are only found in some parts of India. Such as Lohi. It is usually found in Rajasthan and Punjab, as the climatic conditions in Rajasthan and Punjab suit the presence of Lohi. Sorry, children, I have made a mistake. This is not brown fleece. I'm going to say the breed of this sheep later, but its quality of wool is brown fleece. This is like a quiz for you. I did this purposely as to give us a quick quiz for you. Its quality of wool is brown fleece. It is usually found in Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. So, in the comment section, please answer to this question. And next, let's go for the next question. Next breed of sheep, it is Nali. Remember this table, children. It is very important as they may ask this in as fill in the blanks. Like, name a breed of sheep which gives carpet wool. The answer is Nali. Name the place. Name two places where Nali is found. Name two places where Bakarwal is found, and many like these. And Nali is found in Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab. Punjab, you should know this, children, the state where they are found. Next, it's Bakarwal. Bakarwal, its wool is used for woolen shawls, as the hair of Angora goats used as the fibers of Angora goats for to to wear woolen shawls. It is as usual. It is in Jammu and Kashmir. Next name of breed Marwari. Its quality of wool is the coarse wool, and it is usually found in Gujarat. Next, it's Patanwadi. Patanwadi's quality of wool. Its wool is used for hosiery. Sorry. The state where it is found, it is also found in Gujarat. What a coincidence, children! Marwari and Patanwadi both are found in Gujarat. Next, the process of processing fibers into wool. Sheep are sensitive and should be taken care very carefully. Yeah, you know this. You know this. You should also know that the quality of wool which they give shows us how good they are taken care of, children. You should also know the process of fibers into wool. Wool into fibers. They give us wool and we convert it into fibers and then into yarn and weave them into a cloth. The fleece of sheep. Let's move on to it. Step 1. The fleece of sheep, along with a small thin layer of skin, is cut. This process is called shearing. This is very important, children, as they usually ask this and as 2 mark questions in question answers. In answer the following question. What is shaving? Like that. Like that. This process is usually done in summer. Can you guess why? If you don't know, let me tell you that during winters, these sheep need their protective coat as they need to be worn during that time. But during summers, it's not cold. It's not cold. It is very hot. It is very hot during summers. So this process is usually done in summers. Step two. Next step, the shade skin is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease and other dust particles. You should remember even this. This is called scoring. Scoring is also done in tanks in the olden days, but scoring is also done by machines. As technology improved, even people made a machine for scoring. So scoring for scoring. But in the olden days, scoring was done in tanks. Please remember this, children. After scoring, sorting is done. You should know sorting is also very dangerous. It is a very dangerous thing to do as I'm going to explain it to you why and how in the next slide. In the next slide. The next slide. Now let's move to the next step. Step 4. Small fluffy fibers, which are also called burrs, are removed. Then these fibers are again scored and are again dried. The same process again. Again one more time. Now the wool is ready to be drawn into fibers. And the children, the step 5. Step 5 is not directly drawing, but as you know, the usually color of wool is brown, or white or brown or black. So they are dyed into beautiful colors as shown in the following picture. As shown in the following picture. 1 minute, children. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to annotate. I'm going to spotlight it here. This picture. This picture. After this, these fibers are straightened. They are combed to be straight. They are combed to be straight and then are rolled into a yarn as shown in this machine. I have spotlighted it. Just children. And as you know, these shorter fibers are used for making a woolen cloth, as the longer ones are woven into sweaters. Sweaters. That's it, children. That's it, children. The fibers are woven into yarn like this, and then they are made into sweaters and woolen cloths. Let's move on to the next slide. Occupational hazards. As I said, sorting is very risky. As sorters, the people who do sorting are known as sorters. Please even remember this, children. Sometimes sorters are infected by a bacteria. It is a very dangerous bacteria which causes fatal blood diseases. Anthrax. Anthrax, anthrax, as this is usually spread to sorters as they do the sorting work, it is also called as the sorter's disease. The sorter disease is very dangerous and causes fatal blood diseases. You can't say what happens, and as you know, sorter's disease is a communicable disease, so it is very difficult. You can't even keep in contact with your family, as this disease even hurts, spreads to others. And next, and these risks are faced by workers in an industry. This risk, this is known as an occupational hazard. Silk moths, silkworms, silk. Do you know what is silk, children? Silkworms spin the silk fibers. They spin it really. This process, the process of rearing these silkworms for silk, is known as sericulture. Children, this is a very important children, this question is usually asked in question answers, or they can also ask this in fill in the blanks. What is the process of rearing silkworms called? Sericulture. You should remember this, children, this definition, and you should remember this definition. Then you can also answer it in question answers or fill in the blanks. Life history. Even they have a life. They have a life cycle which keeps on going on and on and on. First, female silk moths. Silk moths means the fully developed silkworm. Silkworm is known as a silk moth. Silk moth. Female silk moths lay eggs from which larvae are hatched. When they hatch, when they hatch, an organism comes out. This is called as a caterpillar or silkworm. If they ask this in fill in the blanks, you can write the word which is more familiar to you. If you nicely know the word caterpillars or remember it, then write caterpillars. Or if you nicely know the word silkworms and you remember only this word in the exam, write silkworms. Don't buy it anything, children. Please understand it. If you understand it, it will be in your mind for years and years and years. As you know, they grow in size and I'm going to detailedly explain about this in the next slides, but first they grow in size. They eat enormously day and night and grow in size and meet their next stage of their life history, pupa. This stage is called as pupa and it turns into a pupa during this stage of life. It first weaves a net. It makes a net to hold, which can hold itself, and then swings itself all over the directions and secretes a fiber. Remember this, children. The fiber which the silkworm secretes is made of protein and hardens to exposure of hair. This is a very important question which they usually ask in match the following or MCQs, and you should know this cocoon makes the silk fiber. What is cocoon? So you don't know what is cocoon, right? You don't know what is cocoon. Then first remember this, that after doing this it covers itself with the silk fiber, and this covering is a cocoon. Is the cocoon. This turns into a pupa, and that stage of life and that portion, and at that time that organism is a pupa. Please remember even this, children. So the next one, the further developments of silkworms take place inside the cocoon. I'm going to show you the life cycle of the silkworm in the later time, in the next few slides. First, you should know silk fibers are used for weaving silk. You know this. But do you know there are many types of silk moths? They look different from each other, and the yarn they yield is also different in texture. Some examples of types of silk moths are tassar. Some types of silks. These types of silks tassar silk, muga silk, mulberry silk. If you ask the types of silk to your grandma or mother, they usually know more about this as these types of silks are usually woven into saris or pajamas. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. You should know this, children. This is the most common one. The silk fiber of this type of silk, it is very beautiful, and it is elastic and lustrous, not to mention it is very soft. What is lustrous, children? If you know, then very good, but if you don't know, lustrous is the shiny appearance on flashing of light. This is lustrous, children. And sericulture is a very old occupation. It has come from generations to generations. Sericulture. Now, from cocoon to a silk, you need to rear silkworms first. If now you have a cocoon, you want to convert it into a silk, you want to make it silk, then you have to follow many steps to do this. Female silk moths lay hundreds of eggs, as you know. They lay hundreds of eggs at a time. They are stored carefully. They need to be stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper. On strips of cloth or paper, you can use any of these, children. And these are usually bought by farmers. The farmers who rear silkworms are known as silkworm farmers. You need to remember this definition, children. This is not present in the presentation, so please hear and write it. I'm going to repeat. The farmers who rear silkworms are known as silkworm farmers. Okay, the next step. Okay, for rearing silkworms also there are five steps. I'm going to explain to you now. Farmers need to keep them under hygienic conditions, or the quality of silk they will get will not be good, or the eggs will die. They need to keep the eggs under hygienic conditions and suitable humidity and temperature. The eggs and for the larvae to hatch, the eggs are warmed. The eggs are slightly warm for the larvae to hatch. You should remember the children. And after they hatch, also they should be kept under hygienic conditions and temperature and humidity. Not to mention humidity. And what is humidity, children? You should know this. Humidity's definition. I'm going to say you the humidity's definition. The amount of water vapor present in air is its humidity. This is very important definition, children. I'm going to repeat it again. The amount of water vapor present in air is its humidity. And what is temperature? You should even remember this, children. The hotness or coldness of a given object, of a particular object, is known as its temperature. I will repeat. The hotness or coldness of a given object is known as its temperature. This temperature, the larvae or betterly known caterpillar, they hatch when a mulberry tree bears fresh leaves. When a mulberry tree grows and now it is bearing very fresh leaves, at that time the larvae hatches. These larvae eat day and night and increase enormously in size. They become very huge. They will be very, very tiny during that time, during when they first hatch, and they eat day and night. And if you go after 20 to 35 days, you can see they're so big. They're so big. So after 25 to 30 days, they stop eating and then move to a chamber of bamboo or any other wood, and spin cocoons. And they spin into cocoons, as I said. Twigs may be provided for them to get attached. They also need something to get attached, no? So they are provided twigs. Twigs may be provided. We can't even say if they will give or not give. Okay, then next, this will be the last slide, children. Processing of silk. After taking care of them, after rearing them, you need to extract silk from it, right? A pile of cocoons is used for obtaining silk fiber. Yeah, a pile of cocoons. Many cocoons are used for silk fibers for obtaining them. There are only 2 points in this. Cocoons should be kept for obtaining this. The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled. They are also steamed for the silk fibers to separate out. This process is this process of taking out of this process of taking out threads this process of taking out threads this process is known as reeling of silk. This is also a very important definition, children. Remember this. The process of converting cocoons into silk fibers is known as reeling of silk. Okay, children. What happens when the silk fibers are extracted? Then they are spun into silk threads, which are woven into silk cloths by weavers. You should know, children, the process of doing this, the process of weaving, the process of making, the process of what they say weaving is known as this process is known as weaving, and the people who do weaving are known as weavers. Children. The process of making silk threads into silk cloths is known as weaving, and the people who do this are weavers. Next, the life history of silk moth. First, adults lay eggs, then the eggs hatches into larva. Larva then becomes the pupa, and then then the moth develops inside the pupa, and then it again but becomes an adult, and then again leave eggs. This cycle keeps going on and on and on. So observe these pictures, children. This is a mulberry tree. A mulberry tree usually looks like this, and a larva increased in size. This is a larva which is increased in size, children. The spelling of larva can be Larva or Larvae. children. Next, reeling of silk. You can see here that the cocoons are heated. The cocoons are boiled in water for silk. So this was this presentation, children. I can the link the link for this PPT is shared in the description. Thank you.